Alright guys, so I've been lazy. I haven't been working on my Jeep, haven't been making videos, nothing like that. But you know what, today I'm off, I'm not working, so let's go ahead and do something on the Jeep. I got a couple things to do. So first things first, I am setting up these shocks. These are Dodge Tech from Iron Rock Off-Road. That's where you can get them. So these, they come in the box like this. They actually have like a bump stop integrated into them, and they come with these bags with the sleeves. I don't know which ones I need yet, so once I take off the rears, I'll size them up to make sure I have the right one for the bolt size that's in there. And I also had to get, these came in the bag. I don't know if Iron Rock includes the correct size, but these were too big. I don't know where I got them, but I happen to have an extra set of these that are the right size. So what we have to do is press those in. And these are poly bushings, so these with the metal, they're gonna squeak. I recommend getting a little bit of grease on there. That way you can actually slide it in, first of all, because look at that size difference. Once you get some grease on there though, it'll slide in, and also it won't make noise when they're moving. And at the top, you have to set up the bushings, which you put that washer in for the bushing first. Bushing, right here's where the fender goes. Another bushing, washer, and then the nut and the lock nut. So that's gonna be the setup for the front. Like I said, the rears, I don't know until I take one off, but that's gonna be one project. The second thing we're gonna do is I finally have a front drive shaft. So I've actually been running my Jeep without 4x4 for I don't know how long, maybe like 3 years, I don't know, but I finally got one. This is a Tom Woods drive shaft that I actually got extended because the Tom Woods was a little bit too short. So now this is the right size. I did go to O'Reilly's and I picked up this set of new straps, but they don't come with the right bolt size, and I have the OEM ones right here, so I'm just gonna stick the OEM back on. That'll work fine. Let me go ahead and put the bar pin into the other shock and get that ready so we can start doing the front shocks first. We'll do the drive shaft at the end because that's a little bit easier. This one's already good to go, so I'm gonna put that down here. We're gonna take this one. Like I said, we're gonna want some grease. You don't need a lot. You just got to get some on the edge here. And I guess you could grind down the edges to make it a little bit more round, make it easier, but I'm just gonna send it. It's gonna work fine. All right, so we got some grease in there. Now this ain't the prettiest thing to do, but it'll work. So I'm just gonna hold it over the top with the hammer. If you have a vise, this would probably be easier. Okay, we got it in. Okay, next step is let's remove the old one. Okay, and I do have these adapters on there. Those were so that I can run the Fox shocks, but we're gonna change those out. I'm gonna reuse these bolts though for the new shocks. Now we gotta get the nut off the top in the engine bay. That one is gonna be right here by your AC line, straight down. Okay, that's out. And I think the shock should just come out if I just slide it this way. Cool. Easy. Now, I don't know the type of shock this is, but they don't just push out, so you can actually pull it out yourself. It makes it a little bit easier to install. Bam, bam. Okay. So that's in place. We could go ahead and put the hardware back on. So that's in place. I lined this side up, and then I just got to tighten it down here. Technically, you're supposed to hold it on the top right here and then tighten the nut. We're just gonna send it with the impact. It looks like we have maybe 3-4 inches of play right here, but it has that bump stop, so that should help so they don't bottom out. But I guess what that means is we're gonna have a lot more down travel now. These have really short amount of down travel, so that's the big difference between these two shocks, and that's why we're upgrading to these. And I've had these in my garage for I don't know how long. Same with that drive shaft. I just never got around to installing it. Well, I think right now when I drop my camera, my back screen stopped working, but it's still recording. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace this side. The top of the shock is by the brake lines right here. Normally, if you've never replaced your shocks, on that stud, there's gonna be a place that holds your breather tube. So if you replace your shocks, you might have to put that breather tube somewhere else. But I'm gonna go ahead and do this one off camera since it's the same as the other side. Then I'll show you guys how to do the rear, which are very simple. So we got this one set up in there as well. I'm curious how it's gonna feel. Probably a little bit more bouncy because the Fox are a little bit stiffer, I assume, I don't know yet. Next step is we'll take this bolt out and then this one down here. I do need to break it first. My impact wasn't strong enough. I don't know how my impact couldn't do that. Maybe because it's low battery. Okay, we got that one off. Next is this one right here. Okay. There it is. So we got the bottom in. Again, for these, you have to find the sleeve that fits the best. Make sure they're not too loose on the bolts, and then yeah, put them in there. I'm not gonna tighten it all the way. All right, so the GoPro overheated, but I got the rear shocks in on both sides. Bam. So on these, the body goes down, I believe, because of the way the name is. I mean, I don't know if you could put it upside down, maybe, but I assume this is how it goes. The Fox were backwards. But anyways, that is it. It is in. I'm curious how it's gonna feel, but for now, we're gonna move on to the drive shaft. So again, this is a Tom Woods drive shaft. You can order them on Iron Rock Off-Road. You just tell them what size you need, and they make it for you. So this one, someone actually gave this to me. It was a brand new Tom Woods drive shaft, but it was too short. So I took it to a local driveline shop and they extended it for me to the size of the Jeep for what I need. They actually measured it and this is what we got. So now we can install it. And like I said, I'm gonna use the original hardware because the aftermarket, I don't know, it doesn't look right. The 2 straps with the 4 bolts is for the front side that connects to the axle. These 4 bolts connect on the back side of here. These are kind of fun to get to, but shouldn't be too bad. So these bolts will go through the back end towards the front and tighten onto the drive shaft itself. So let's put a couple in here. Let's see if my little wrench will fit. Oh, it does. Nice. I'm gonna get it most of the way tight, but not all the way. That way, in case I need to adjust it a little bit. All right, so we got the transfer case side on. Now it's time for the axle side, and these just, you put the straps over the top, bam, bam. Make sure that the joints are sitting in between the little notches that are on the outside. And again, these take 1310 U-joints in case you ever need to rebuild them. That's what you need to use. So I bought the wrong kit. That's why they looked off. These are the type that I need for this Jeep. Those other straps I had, the used ones, were for my 2003 Jeep, so I guess it has a different yoke. All good though. I got these, they had them in stock at O'Reilly's. That's the part number right here. Now we can actually install them. And these just go in straight through here and bolts up through the back. I'm finally not gonna be a mall crawler anymore. I can actually take my Jeep off-roading now. I'm curious, I literally haven't had 4-wheel drive since I broke the rear axle. I think around that time I gave the drive shaft I had to Chris because it was too short for my setup. Oh shoot. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. All right, so I'm where I usually come to test, you know, on a speed bump. So this is the first time with the shocks. Let's see how it does. I'm gonna go pretty fast. Damn. So it's kind of They feel stiffer, honestly, than the Fox. They definitely feel stiff. Oh well, they're actually meant for the size of lift that I have, so it is what it is. But yeah, they do feel a little bit rough. I would say if you want more of a street driving type of feel, go for Bilsteins. These I got for free, so I can't complain. I can't complain too much. So actually right now, pulling into the driveway with the Fox, when I would hit it, it'd kind of go like that, like a cloud kind of. That's the best way to explain it for me. With the new ones, it literally just hit and kind of just stayed there. It didn't really bounce. So these are definitely feeling more stiff. Maybe I need to drive it around, break them in a little bit, but that's what it's feeling like right now. All right, so now I've been driving the Jeep with those shocks for a couple months now. It's been a while since I recorded that video, but update, they're still stiff. When you hit a big bump, it's kind of like there's a piece of metal where the shock should be. That's what it feels like. Would I recommend you guys buy some of those shocks when you're buying your Iron Rock lift kit? No, absolutely not. Upgrade, get the Bilsteins. You'll be happy with those, especially if it's an everyday, daily driver type of thing. Do not get these shocks. But if you get them for free, throw them in there. Why not? And that's what I'm doing. The Driveshaft, I have not even taken it out. I have not taken the Jeep out off-roading. So I can't tell you an update on the Driveshaft, but it's been running fine with it in. That Driveshaft, I actually got it done at Dan's Driveline here in Las Vegas. Recently, I saw a video of, if you guys watch Roadkill, Freiburger, he took his car there when he broke down a little bit out of Vegas. So that was pretty cool to see. That place was recommended to me by Austin Motors. If you guys don't know, I worked there for a little bit. They did truck giveaways, so check them out. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. I have more to come, so stay tuned. I know I've been lagging, but we're back, baby.